Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and this is a brand new episode of Live from My Mother's Basement.
Welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement, and today we're not in the basement. We're close. We're in my hometown of Scotch Plains, New Jersey. We're on Park Avenue. We're at my friend's beautiful Italian restaurant called Grano. So please say hello to the owner, I believe the head chef, and the guy who created this beautiful atmosphere in this old school, beautiful town that we call Scotch Plains. This is Nino Locascio. I always hope I'm saying his name right. Say hello, man.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Oh.
Welcome, Mike. Thanks so much for having me on this show. I'm really happy to be here. So, let's talk about some food and restaurants and this beautiful town of Scotch Plains.
How is that not one of your favorite topics? Food. We got up early this morning to make this happen because in an hour, this place is going to be open for lunch. He's going to give you the schedule of when you could come and what he does, and then why he does what he does, and some of the samples that are actually waiting for us. I mean, I'm really glad that I'm here this early in the morning. However, I have not eaten breakfast because I knew we're going to get treated to some specialties. But why don't we do a nice salute because we're having a little espresso here in the morning. Thank you for having us come over. Boom, we're at his place. You know, if you look at the bricks and everything, it kind of might look like a little bit of a basement, but this place is so incredibly decorated. See the sign back there, nice neon sign. There's an entrance in the front. There's an old school entrance in the back. Nothing like coming in the back door to a nice Italian restaurant. Gives you that feel of, Goodfellas. But I tell you, you know you're going to eat great here. I don't want to take over the show, but I do have to say that there's also another side over here to what is, like, say, my left as a pizza place. So this is the Italian restaurant side, and there's a pizza place on the other side, and the pizza is just to die for. So we're going to rewind. Let's go back. Let's put him into what he was when he was a kid, where he's from, and how did this all come to be. So, like, where were you born? Where are you from?
So I'm from Newark, New Jersey originally, but I'm a Jersey boy. Never really left. I left for a couple years for school and some work I did when I was younger, but Newark, New Jersey, moved out to Somerset County, where I reside now, but originally from the old brick city of Newark. So where a lot of the Italians immigrated to when they came over. Very similar to Scotch Plains, but it kind of grew out of that stage is why I moved out to Somerset. But yeah, food is in my family. As you know, big Italian family. Just kind of in the blood, so comes kind of natural.
It's in the blood. It's also in the cholesterol. Newark, New Jersey is super famous if you're not from the state of New Jersey or New York. If wherever you're watching the show from, Alabama, Kentucky, Texas, California, different parts of the world, Newark, New Jersey it's almost like the hub for people who are coming from different parts of the world to New York, New Jersey. Because I was born in Jersey City, which is the next town over, Hoboken, Frank Sinatra. It's where the Statue of Liberty is. It's where Ellis Island is. So back in the day when our parents or grandparents were coming over from Italy, that's pretty much where everybody went and for whatever reason stopped there for a very long time. And it's very heavily populated with Italian people. And then somewhere, somehow, I don't know exactly the history, a lot of the Italians came to this town from a specific area in Italy called, I believe it was Mondazzole, and they stayed here, and this town became really, really populated with Italians. So you know you're going to eat good if you walk through this town. So he's a Jersey boy. I'm a Jersey boy too.
Jersey boy, that's right. So I started my career, I went through school. After high school, I was unsure what I was going to do with my life. And my parents and grandparents mostly my grandparents come from the bakery business. And at the time, my parents tried their hand in the bakery business. And they said, you know what, why don't you go to school, learn how to do pastries, and you come back and you teach us, and then eventually take over the business. And that was the ultimate plan. Didn't quite work out that way. Working with family isn't the easiest thing in the world. No love lost though. I love my family, but I moved on, and I moved on to cooking. So I kind of took.
Is your family still in the pastry business?
No,
No?
no. My dad's a tile man, and my mom's a hairdresser.
Is that right?
Yep, and still active, doing it and doing it.
Did he
well,
do the
so-
tile in here? Because this is such an old school look. These white tiles over here, didn't they call them
The
runway
the
tiles? Look like
subway,
a sub. It looks like a subway.
Yep.
Even has these antique looking lights that remind you of taking the train somewhere. It's really. Did he do this, your father?
He didn't do this, but he does come in, and my father's awesome. He comes in and helps me touch up anything that needs fixing or replacing. He's a very handyman. He's a good handyman, so he's only one phone call away.
So they don't do the pastry at all.
No, my mom does that as a hobby.
Yeah.
She's very good at it. She'll do all my nieces and nephew birthday cakes, and cookies during the holidays and throughout the year. Just bakes her heart out. So she's great at it. Anything she does, she's great at, as far as cooking or just life in general. But baking, she's very good at. And like now, it's more of a hobby for her.
Right. Does she actually do some of the pastries for your restaurant?
So when I do wine dinners, she'll help me out with the dessert. So I do wine dinners occasionally, like once every 3 months or so. She has helped me in the past put the dessert together for those wine dinners.
I don't even know exactly what that is. A wine dinner?
So we do a 4-course wine dinner when we're introducing new wines in our wine menu. So you have typically we'll do a welcome cocktail with some shared appetizers. Then you sit down and you have a glass with every course, appetizer, entree, and dessert. And it's pretty cool. We do it typically on a Monday night. We start at 7:00. And then if you like the wines that you have, you can purchase them and take them home with you that same night.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
This restaurant, I will tell you, this is not one of those BYOBs. This actually has a liquor license and has a full bar.
Yep. Oh, it's
Right,
right
a lot
there.
of Italian restaurants, you go there, you got to bring your own, which I don't know, sometimes could be fun. Sometimes it sucks, quite honestly. I'd rather just go there, have my stuff, and leave. I don't want to bring anything with me. However, I think New Jersey is really well known for the BYOB. And then, as far as I'm concerned, because there's some comedy clubs that have BYOB, it gets a little out of hand. I think a BYOB was originally supposed to be, you bring a bottle of wine.
Correct.
Now you go to some BYOB, they bring a bar. They got vodka, they got
gin,
and they're
whiskey.
wasted.
Then they're asking for mixers. But yeah, it turns into a nightclub sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's nice. We have the full bar, so anything you could possibly want as far as cocktails go, we have. And we're always running seasonal cocktails here, which is nice. So for all the seasons, we do seasonal cocktails. We have our summer cocktails coming out, which is going to be great. We usually do 5, but we couldn't settle on just 5 for the summer season. The bartenders and I came up with a great list, so we're going to have 7 or 8 this time around, just because summer is so much fun we can have a lot of fun with it as far as the cocktail side and food as well.
This is really one of the coolest places to be because outside on a nice day, it's just a great place to hang.
If we get the sun here in the afternoon and in the evening, get a nice little breeze, and we have our umbrellas, of course, so it's nice. And we just like to hang out outside.
Exactly. Now, we were going back in time. So Newark, family, pastry business. When was it that you decided the restaurant business?
So I went to school at the Restaurant School of Philadelphia, which is now Walnut Hill College. Then I gradually just started cooking, and I grew very quickly in the business. I went from line cook to lead line cook to sous chef to executive sous chef to executive chef to food and beverage director to general manager. So I grew quickly in the business. I did open up a restaurant in my younger years when I was 21, actually. I had that for about 4 or 5 years, sold it, and then I went on with my career. I worked for hotels, country clubs. Uh, so I did that for about 12 years
As a chef?
as a chef, just in the hospitality business. I did some traveling for some companies as a corporate chef, but my heart was in the kitchen always. So even as a director, food and beverage, or general manager, I was always focused in on the kitchen, implementing recipes and food, and it was just it's in my heart, So
What is it? So you go to school to learn how to be a chef. I would assume it takes a long time because there's so many recipes, dinners to make, different styles of cooking. I mean, I wouldn't know. You mentioned sous chef. I don't know the difference between a sous chef and a chef.
right.
So what is that?
So a sous chef is basically the executive chef's right hand man. So it's more or less like a lawyer would have, I guess, a secretary. So the executive chef is the conductor of the kitchen. He gets his hands dirty when he has to, but everything goes through layers. So you have the executive chef, you have an executive sous chef. Sometimes you'll have a banquet chef. I worked in a hotel where I had 4 sous chefs, and each were specialized in their areas. Banquet, chef de partie. There's a million different ways to look at this, but basically the sous chef or executive sous chef is the right hand man. He's the working dog of the kitchen. He's making sure that recipes are being followed. Anything that the chef needs or want is done. So he gets beat up kind of from both ends, from line cooks, from the the kitchen employees, and then it gets beat up from the chef as well. It's a tough transition when you go from sous chef to executive chef, but that's what makes you a good executive
What do
chef.
you mean he gets beat up? You mean like somebody's going, "What the hell are you doing? That's not the way you
Yeah,
prepare
he
that."
gets kicked in the ass a little bit.
Yeah?
So yeah, I mean,
You call that a salad? What the fuck is the matter with you?
there's definitely some flying pots here and
Yeah?
there, and some spoons with a little sauce on the end of it going across the kitchen.
It
So
makes you
it's
wonder
heavy.
too, because if you're in the kitchen and you're having an argument with the sous chef or another chef, do the people in the restaurant actually hear that?
Sometimes they hear me here too. No, I'm pretty good with my employees. We have a good time, and it's all about creating that teamwork and that family atmosphere, not only in the front of the house, but with the staff as well. And I think that's what makes Grano a great place to work. Is we come together, and I like to train, and my employees know what my expectations are, and they just do it, and it's great. And I have the best staff I could ever ask for.
You seem like a really calm guy. I guess eventually, somehow you would get angry, that Italian temper. You don't really seem to see it at all or feel it. And I guess I wouldn't want to know anything about it, but I'm sure that happens every once in a while. But when you go to train to be a chef, okay, do you have to know every cuisine, or you learn how to become an Italian chef? Like, do you know how to make French food? Do you know how to make German food? Do you know how to make, I don't know, Asian food?
So yeah, you can definitely specialize in a certain cuisine. I never wanted to be, I'm an Italian chef, because I own an Italian restaurant, and yes, I can cook the shit out of Italian food, but I
love that term. I could cook the shit out of Italian food.
but I like to think I need to be versatile, and I've been versatile. I worked at clubs that demanded, heavy French cuisines, or I worked at restaurants that demanded Asian cuisine. I actually taught at Mercer County Community College for a couple years, and I was the international cuisine chef. That was the class that I was teaching. So I like to be versatile. There's definitely people who specialize in certain cuisines, but again, I'm obviously here in my Italian restaurant, but we run specials here that are just kind of out of bounds. So we'll do stuff that's not always Italian. This weekend, I have tacos on the menu as one of the specials. So we like to change it up, keep it fresh.
It's hilarious.
And surprise people. So you can sit here and look at it.
I'm going to Grano's for tacos.
Right.
What?
But I mean, obviously they're a little bit more, upgraded, and it's not your typical taco. We put a little fusion in there. But yeah, we switch it up a lot.
What the hell's a fusion?
Like different cuisines. So although taco is typically Latin or Mexican, we'll put a little Italian twist on it.
That is a joke waiting to happen for me. We're going to
Use it,
Grano's.
Mike, use
We're
it.
going to Grano's for taco night. Yeah, what do they make?
Italian
They're
tacos.
putting meatballs in the taco.
Why not? Anything's possible as long as it tastes good. And the funny
A
thing
taco
is,
ball.
when you do stuff like it attracts people and it interests people, and they're like, wow, that looks interesting. Let me give that a shot. So yeah, again, we're an Italian restaurant, and as far as specializing, I do not specialize in something. I like to think that I'm very versatile as far as cooking cuisines.
What's your opinion on, like, when you watch these cooking shows, like The Last Chef or something like that, and they got to make this dinner like within seconds or something, and then they get screamed at? It almost seems like it's a put on.
Well, yeah, I mean, TV's TV, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about the TV. I think there are some shows that definitely hone in on what it's like being a chef. I think the closest in anything I've ever seen was most recently they had the show The Bear. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
It was on Hulu. And I think that is the most accurate to a chef's life as possible, or chef life in the kitchen. That was probably the most accurate. But the shows and stuff, it's for the show. That's what it's for.
So here we are, fast forward. We're in this restaurant here. It's early in the morning. We came in here because we wanted to beat the rush because it's going to be an incredible lunch. What would you prefer to do, and what do you do at your own place? You're the face and the voice of your restaurant. You work the door. You make everybody feel good, and it goes, hey, there's Nino. We're going to get a good time. Or would you rather be in the kitchen cooking, and people come out here and say, this tastes great. Is Nino here? Is he in the kitchen? Is he going to come over to the table? That type of thing.
The nice thing about having your own place is you can really do whatever you want. And
Right.
that's kind of what I do. So if I want to be out front, I can be out front. If I want to be in the kitchen, I can be in the kitchen. Every day is a different day, right? So I look forward to weekends because we create the specials, and I'm in the kitchen with the guys showing them exactly how I want these specials. Then when we're busy out front, I'm out front interacting with the customers, which I really enjoy as well. So it's a good balance. If I can go back and be a line cook, I think that was the most fun I ever had in this business. It was straightforward. It was, head down and just go.
What is the line cook?
Line cook is he's on the line all day, just putting out dishes, prepping and getting ready.
Do you read that ticket? Oh, this is what I got to make, and then you make it.
Yep. So, but like I said, I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Being a chef when I need to be, being a front of the house manager when I need to be. I mean, I do everything here. There's no job that I can't do, but I have to say I'm doing exactly what I want to do here, for sure.
This is cool. This is cool as shit. You should see this place, all right? So now we're going to move on. Let's talk about a menu, but before we do, why is it called Grano?
Well, Grano, this was a turnkey restaurant that I purchased from acquaintances of mine that had it prior.
Turkey?
Yes, turkey.
What does that mean?
Turnkey.
Oh, turnkey. I thought you said
Turnkey.
turkey.
Sometimes
this was
my
a
words
turkey
run
restaurant.
into each other.
Turnkey. I thought you said
Turnkey.
turkey.
So it was established already, and when I purchased it, I wanted to keep the name because I feel it's a very growable name, meaning if I wanted to potentially go on and do more Granos, I think it's pretty trendy, it's easy to say, and
What does it mean?
Grano means grain, wheat, it's an Italian term, so yeah.
Imagine that. Nice chain of Granos.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
I went to Granos in Scotch Plains, and
Also
2 weeks
in
later,
Miami.
Are you in Miami?
No.
But wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Or New York City. Listen.
Hey, I'm in
that's
Miami
the-
at a place called Grano.
Sometimes I think
That's
about
Nino's place.
Well, sometimes I'm just really happy with this. It's going really well. It's manageable, and it's great. So we have an awesome menu, lunch and dinner menu, sandwiches, pizzas, entrees, pastas, appetizers. We run specials.
Is there a big difference between in here, the restaurant, and let's say the pizza area?
So anything you can get on in the restaurant, you can get to go on the pizza side.
Right.
So there's really no difference. The only difference is at night we do not offer any of the lunch menu items in the dining room. So on this side it's entrees only for dinner, but you can always take out anything you want on the pizza side.
All right. Well, let's grab a menu. Can you grab one?
Sure.
He's going to grab a menu. We'll chat a little bit about what's on this particular menu. He does have specials, and there's some brunches that he has too,
Oh, yes.
and like a disco night. Oh, so this is the menu from in the pizza place?
So this is both. So you can get this here and there. So this is our primary menu for the dining room, and then here's the lunch. So you have sandwiches. By the way, we're coming out with an awesome lunch menu, a limited lunch menu that's going to have a burger on there. We're going to start introducing burgers, chicken sandwiches, wraps. It'll be real fun.
Really, a hamburger?
Oh yeah, tavern burger.
The Tavern Burger.
Oh yes, sir.
Here in a nice Italian restaurant. Meat lovers. Man, there's everything on here from calzones, strombolis, little children's menu, margarita pizzas, and
You get the good stuff here:
appetizers.
burrata, fried calamari, arancini, shrimp francese, our meatballs. Should I show them the meatballs?
Yeah, let's get into it. I happen to be allergic to fish. I've never had fish in my life except the one time that said, "You're allergic to fish." And I think it was on Christmas Eve because that's when the Italians have 7 fishes. I bet you have a lot of holiday specials. You
Oh
open up-
yes, big on the seafood. We have plenty of seafood on the menu as well. Fresh mussels, fresh clams, shrimp, salmon. We run a beautiful branzino from time to time. Our linguine and clams, the best you'll ever have for sure. It's one of my favorites on our menu. Just so nice, buttery, and the clams are fresh. And we add a ton of chopped clams in there too. So
I know you guys can't read this menu, but I'm so excited reading the menu. I just saw, meatball salad.
that's
I don't
right.
even know what a meatball salad is, but quite honestly, in my mother's tradition, when we would have, let's say, pasta, which we called macaroni, we never said pasta until I moved to California. We had macaroni. My mother would have the macaroni and the meatballs, and then the salad afterwards. I don't really know why, but we'd have meatball and a salad after we had the macaroni. We never said antipasto. We said antibast. And we never said the word charcuterie. I don't think anybody should say antipasto, or how do you pronounce?
Well, actually, we have on there, we call it the Italian board, which is the antipasto. Kind of make
You
it.
got to stay in there.
Yeah.
Italian board, it's a 2x4.
It's
All right.
actually served on a wooden board. But the meatball salad, Mike, as you know, like you said, after the pasta or the macaroni, you always had the meatballs in the salad. And that when that lettuce from the vinegar of the lettuce got into the meatballs and you just kind of mixed everything together and you had a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of meatball on the fork, and you put it was like magic in your
Yes.
mouth. And I get chills thinking
I got
about it.
chills thinking about it right now because
So-
that's the way my mother did it. And
Yeah.
I don't even know why.
And it wasn't no measurements. It was vinegar,
No.
oil,
Throw it in there.
salt, pepper. That's it. Nobody bought dressing. We never bought dressing. We had oil and vinegar at the house. It was either balsamic or red wine. Usually the red wine vinegar. And then that magical mixture, like I said, with a little meatball and a little bit of that salad,
Piece of bread.
bread, a lot of bread. My father always taught me, little meatball, little salad, and a huge chunk of bread.
Yes.
And we take it right off the...
I'm getting the chills too.
Yeah.
I want to go home. Well, we have some meatballs on the table right now. Why don't you show everybody what it looks like?
So this is our meatball appetizer. This is, you get 4 meatballs.
An appetizer. This
Yes.
looks like the dinner.
And you get a huge, nice scoop of fresh ricotta that we season up nice. That's our meatball. And then the meatball salad, you get 3 meatballs and that beautiful salad right next to it, served on the same plate. So it creates that magical flavor that we talked about.
So this is a meatball appetizer. You can get a meatball salad. Me personally, if I was here, I would get the meatball appetizer. I'd go right for it. It's just one of those things. You have to have it. All right. Can we have No, we're going to taste this, man.
We're gonna taste it. All right. And then one of our other appetizers. I'm Sicilian, so we do a classic arancini here. So this has it has the prosciutto, not with the ground beef, but we make everything here. We are a complete scratch kitchen. We make the meatballs. We make the arancini. We make all our sauces. And
let's get a fork.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
We're both going to do it. Get one for me, get one for you. And we're going to taste these specific appetizers because he knew this was what I was going to want to have.
You want to try the meatball? What do you want? Whatever you want, Mike. Whatever you want to do.
We're going to do it.
Want a glass of wine too?
No. We're going to have a little water.
So this is our...
Ooh.
I didn't eat breakfast either, so...
We're going to have it right now. Hey, huh? You looking?
I didn't even tell him. I ate it. Nope.
Man, that's good.
Forget about it.
Forget about something.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm eating.
Enjoy.
You know, sometimes my mother would say, don't fill up. You didn't have your dinner yet. Don't fill up on bread. You didn't have your dinner yet. That can happen sometimes when you go to a restaurant like Grano. Because I want to taste all different types of appetizers. Some Italian restaurants that you go to, like I bet you any money, if I came in here and I didn't have a reservation or anything and I was coming in on a date, let's say, and I sat down at the table, watch this, I bet you I'm right about this. He's going to put something on the table that I didn't ask for.
100%.
He's just going to go, here you go.
That's right.
Because that's Italian. And you're going to have an appetizer that's going to be so delicious that you're going to want something else. And sometimes by the time your dinner comes out, you're full.
It's true.
And the dinners here, and we're going to show you, are huge. So you're going home with it.
All the time.
See?
So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get 2 meals out of 1 when you come here.
All right, so that was the taste of this one.
Arancini, yep.
Arancini.
Take this.
But now here comes the meatball. You can't really be from an Italian family or go to an Italian restaurant without being a meatball connoisseur. Meatballs are the best. They really are.
So funny story about meatballs. My mom was in a meatball competition and a champion 5 years running.
Really?
In New Jersey. So, and one of the competitions were here at the Italian American Club in Scotch Plains. And then the year she lost, she never went back. But typical, right? She got all so upset. Like, I'm never doing this again. But she won, I think it was 4 or 5 years in a row straight.
That's amazing.
And this is her recipe.
This is Mom's recipe.
Yep.
So we have some meatballs.
Award-winning.
Of course, I got the meatball, but on top the cheese is a perfect fit. Oh, that is so good. Sometimes when I go to a restaurant like Grano or in the pizza part of it, and I get a meatball sandwich, sometimes I'd rather not have so much bread. And I like my meatballs smashed in a sandwich so you can get it in every bite. Or get the meatballs by themselves without the bread. A lot of times when you get a meatball sandwich, you wouldn't get this type of cheese on it. Maybe they might throw provolone over the top of it and call it a
Mozzarella, right?
mozzarella. But this is the way you want to have it, as far as I'm concerned. And if I had some bread next to it, then I would dip it in the sauce.
Oh, yes.
Whether you call it sauce or gravy, I don't know. You're
Sauce.
Sicilian, you said sauce.
I'm
Okay.
a sauce guy.
I'm getting used to the Sicilian way. I'm a Bruzzese.
Well, you call it gravy, Mike?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to get kicked out of the restaurant now.
show's over. So those are the meatballs. What'd you think?
I love it. I love both these appetizers. But quite honestly, I'm going to want to try all the appetizers. It's just the way it is. You know, sometimes you can go to restaurants, you got to go many different times to get a taste of everything. I love bruschetta, if that's the way you pronounce it.
Yes.
I love that. I never was big into pasta fagioli. My mother would say it in Italian. I can't even remember anymore. Pasta e fagioli. My mother would say pasta fagioli.
Pasta fagioli.
Pasta fagioli.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like beans.
It's a bean.
Sometimes-
It's a bean soup.
See?
That's
But-
what it is.
Italian wedding soup, you have to have.
Oh yeah,
Now you have your meatballs in there?
of course.
See?
So
And-
it's the same. It's the same recipe. We just roll them very tiny. So you have to understand the work that goes into the food that we prepare here.
I love that.
The long hot peppers with the sausage and potatoes, unbelievable. And we do our homemade bread here. So you just make little sandwiches right there with that appetizer. So very delicious.
Long hots. It's just the best. Eggplant. I'm actually just saying things that I like to eat. There's many more.
The sausage and broccoli rabe.
Yes.
You got everything in there.
Broccoli rabe. My mother would say alukli rabe, like that.
Broccoli rabe.
I can't even say the way she
Broccoli
said it. But I could tell you this, and I'm sure you could agree. It's so healthy for you.
I love it.
It's healthy, and it makes you feel
I
good.
eat it once a day.
If you, really,
Once a day.
really.
My favorite vegetable. Oh, yes.
Wow. All right, so let's move on. We got salads, of course, and the meatball arugula. Arugula. Caprese. Oh,
Fresh mozzarella, tomato.
I don't know where you get your tomatoes, but let's say Jersey tomatoes, buffalo mozzarella, nice big fat ones.
Jersey tomatoes are the best.
They're huge. They take up the whole plate. Like I said, you could fill up on appetizers before your main course even comes out. So let's see what little main course
All
over
right.
here.
So, obviously, you know, we got pastas. We have your chicken parm, veal chop parm, pork chop jambota is one of the favorites here. Beautiful pork chop, sausage, potatoes, cherry peppers, and a nice red wine sauce.
Big
But
fat fucking pork chop.
fat and delicious, and you don't even need a
Big.
knife to cut the pork chop here.
No.
But this is, you don't need a knife, Mike.
No?
This is our pacheri bolognese, paccheri bolognese. So it's large rigatoni, more or less, and you have a ton of ground beef in there with carrots, a little bit of celery, some our house-made marinara, and then just a touch of cream at the end. I'm drooling thinking about it. This is one of the favorites here. Everything, you can't go wrong with anything you decide here, but this is one of the favorites here. Shall we?
I'm waiting for you, man.
All right, let's
I'm no
go.
Gavone. My mother
You're
taught
so
us
kind.
well. My mother used to say, don't you eat before your father sits down, he'll kill you.
Oh, yeah. Breakfast of Champions, Mike.
This is so damn good. Folks, you don't even know. You're going to know.
And I love the
You're going to
pasta,
come
the
here.
fat
I love big
pasta
fat
there.
pasta.
Yep.
Who needs that little tiny penny bullshit? Go for the big fat ones.
Rigatoni's my favorite, but this is even better than that.
Bigger than rigatoni.
And I
What is
love
this?
when It's called paccheri, but pacheri is the people here, the American term of saying it. But you get the right pasta and you get the meat on there. Some goes inside of it. It's delicious.
Look at the size of that. Look how big this plate is. This plate of pasta and those 4 meatballs, where you going?
Forget it.
It's going home with you.
Nice glass of wine.
And you're sleeping
Nothing
over.
better. And you're sleeping over. We'll roll you out.
Typically, me personally, I go to an Italian restaurant. I don't do steak, and I don't do pork chop. I want to go for the pasta. Maybe chicken with the pasta. I don't know why that is. I always think maybe, you go into an Italian restaurant, you get the pasta. But then again, I'm not really big into steak, so if I went to a steak house,
Or you're getting steak.
yeah,
I don't know. When I go to Italian, I typically try to find something that I've never seen before.
right.
Pastas.
Well, that's because you're a
always
chef.
different,
You,
right.
you want to try something different. I would want to come to get the tradition because that's what's going to make me happiest. But I probably should personally try some different stuff.
And then after this, as you know, we have all your desserts. I didn't put one together here, sorry, Mike, but I'll give you one on the way out.
Let's read off the menu.
Oh, it's right here, the desserts.
Nothing like a good dessert menu.
They're over here.
What's a traditional dessert? Anybody? Anybody?
And, Italian,
Mhm.
cannolis, tiramisu.
There's always the one that I forget what it's called, but it's at every Italian wedding.
What
At
does
the
it
end.
look like?
It's ice cream. And it's got cherries in it.
Tartufo.
Is it tartufo?
Yes.
It's got like 3 different types of ice cream.
Yep. And then you got
Sometimes
the
a
cherry
pistachio in there.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
It's got
And
tartufo.
and guess what? We offer it here. It's right there. You think I'm lying?
Don't tell me they got gumbits. If I'm even
And
saying
we
that
have
right.
homemade zeppelis too.
All right, so over here, New York style cheesecake, limoncello, chocolate. What is that?
Ganache.
Ganache. A Zapala?
Oh yeah, homemade. We make
No
it right
kidding.
here. Oh yes.
You know what Zapalas? Am I saying it the way you would say it? My mother said ad Zapa.
Zeppelis.
Zapalas. What's the English term?
Fried donuts.
No, that's Midigan. Is a Zapala.
Zaples.
Zeppelis. You usually get them at a
Zeppelis.
feast. You
Yeah.
can get them here?
Oh yeah,
You're kidding.
and they're awesome. Come out nice and hot.
Oh, wait a minute,
We
that-
brown them in powdered sugar.
Isn't that rare?
I don't know.
I'd never been to an Italian restaurant that they had Zapalas on the menu as a dessert. I think that's rare.
We do it.
I could tell you right now, if I was here, with some friends having some dinner, I would get the Zapala because I'm not used to seeing it.
Usually have it like you said at the fair. And how often do you go to the fair?
Once a year.
Yep.
In September. So cannolis, tiramisu, tartufo, New York style cheesecake, limoncello cake. Limoncello cake?
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I never heard of a limoncello cake. Limoncello shot?
You want one?
No.
Okay.
It's a little too early in the morning. Man,
It's never too early.
I get a
for
heartburn. It's limoncello. You got to pour that on your cake. So,
We can do that too, by the way.
and what's the vanilla gelato?
And then we got the affogato. So you'd have a scoop of vanilla ice cream. We give you a nice fresh espresso, and then you pour it right on top. Or we can pour it on there for you.
Okay, and then you got your coffees. Okay, Americano, espresso, double espresso, cappuccino, hot tea.
And then
Does anybody even order the tea? I'll have a hot tea.
Yeah, they do.
Really? This I very seldom see on menus. Okay, liqueurs. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Liqueurs.
Liqueur. And cordials?
Cordials.
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 I never see this either. This
You
is
got
something different.
The Fernet Branco. You have the Nonino Amaro. You have the Averna. You have Campari, Limoncello. And then you have the Di Serrano, Frangelico, Sambuca, Grand Marnier, the Remy Martin. And we have a delicious port, 10-year port in-house too.
This is really fantastic, folks, because typically you don't see all of this. This is very different. You might see Grand Marnier, and I know that because it's still in my house in the basement. The bottle's been sitting there for 30 years. And it has a full bar. You can get tequila here.
Oh yes.
Grano Mule.
Those are the summer spring cocktails that we're transitioning out into the summer. So seasonal. And then we have beer, of course, mostly draft.
All right, so we got an incredible Italian menu. You can get anything you want here. And I bet you any money, if it wasn't on the menu, he's going to make it for you.
Of course.
You get anybody come in here and go, listen, I would really like the chicken marsala, but I don't want, I don't know, broccoli. Can you give me mushrooms and you just change it? Instead of the fat pastas, can you give me angel hair?
Of course. We try to accommodate everyone the best we can. If we can do it, we're gonna do it for you. This is like this is family here. Once you walk in those doors here at Grano, you're a part of the family, and we treat you like that. So
this is definitely like a family atmosphere, but it does feel a little upscale. You feel like if I came in here with a pair of jeans and sneakers, I should go home and come back with slacks and shoes, because it does have that look. This is class.
Or unless you come in for the boozy brunch.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to get into, because he does have special events. And I came here once. It wasn't the boozy brunch. It was.
It was.
Was a boozy brunch?
Yeah.
This place was jumping.
Rocking.
Like it was a nightclub. I could have sworn it was 11:30, maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Was it a Sunday?
Sundays. We do it on Sundays.
Sunday. So here's what you do. You go to church. You get rid of all your sins. You say, okay, I feel so much better today, Lord. I'm going to go to the boozy brunch. And you come in here and you get wasted and you have great food. Who comes up with boozy brunch? You?
So it was something in the back of my head. I've always wanted to own a nightclub. Obviously, that didn't happen. Not to say that it can't, but I'm perfectly content with the restaurant that I had. So it was kind of a dream of mine to put something together in that type of aspect. So I came up with the boozy brunch idea, and it's something that's grown tremendously. It's once a month. We have our in-house DJ who does the DJ every brunch. He does a fantastic job. And like you said, we turn this place into a nightclub at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we rock till 3:30. And the town loves it. It brings a different atmosphere for 3.5 hours. And if you're here, if it's over at 3:30, when you walk in the door at 4 o'clock, you'll never know what was going on 30 minutes prior.
How do you do that?
We just flip it. Like I said, the staff here is amazing. So
it's
a quick cleanup. And I'm the one who makes most of the mess for the booth. I'm here throwing napkins. And if you come in here, sometimes if you look up in the rafters, like right there,
a napkin,
you'll see a napkin or confetti or some remnants from a boozy brunch. But yeah, it's a quick turnover. And like I said, you walk in the door here at 4, you'll never know what happened just 30 minutes ago. But it's a great time. The town, the people of Scotch Plains have really accepted it and love it. And like I said, it's something different. So we have a good time.
Once a month is boozy brunch. What does it fall on? The third
It's usually
Sunday?
It's usually the last Sunday of the month. We're unsure. I'm unsure if I'm gonna do it throughout the summer. So we had our last one in May. So our next one could be in August or September, but throughout the year we usually do it the last. So we were doing it once every 2 months. Then it got to where we're doing it every month, and they were selling out very quickly because it gained popularity very quickly. And if you follow Grano on Instagram at GranoNJ, you can see videos of it and see what an awesome time we have for that.
What is the actual price? Is it one set price, or you come in?
It's $45. For $45, that gets you entrance and a prefix brunch menu. And then we're having a good time in here. So alcohol is available to purchase, but there's plenty of it going around for sure. We have a champagne gun that we go around with. I'll have to give you a taste.
A champagne gun.
That's right.
I don't even know what that is.
We have a money gun. It's crazy. It's a good time. But yeah, $45 and gets you in the door. Like I said, gets you the entertainment, gets you the prefix brunch menu, and you can drink as much or as little as you want. But either way you look at it, you're gonna dance. You're gonna have a good time at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Then you have the rest of the day to sleep it off and make sure you take off Monday, especially if you're a little older because you ain't making it.
Yeah. So for $45, what does the brunch entail? What kind of food? I mean,
It's shared appetizers. So I create them every brunch. I'll come up with something different. And then you have a choice of 5 entrees. Our brunch pizza is always on there. Our brunch pizza is awesome. Bacon, ricotta, mozzarella cheese, and then 3 fresh eggs on there. And we bake it in our pizza oven. You have Nutella French toast that we throw on there once in a while. An Italian omelet we'll have on there. An egg sandwich we'll have on there. And then appetizers are pancakes, French toast, and we do mini arancini, but with bacon in them. Unbelievable. People are just popping them.
so I come in here on Boozy Brunch. I sit at a table with some friends, and they bring it to you like for the 3
Yep.
hours.
Oh, no. So we usually get the food out of the way immediately because what happens after that is tables kind of get pushed to the side and we're dancing the rest of the time. DJ has everyone up and there's one surprise after another. So it's a good time.
Wow. And then the alcohol comes with the $45, or that's extra?
No, so no, there's no alcohol with the $45.
Food.
Just the food and like I said, the entrance. But there's plenty of it going around.
So you can actually almost keep on eating the whole time you're here.
And then on the way out the door, we don't want to leave have anyone leave feeling hungry. So we throw pizzas all over the bar and people grab pizzas on the way out.
No kidding.
Oh, yes.
Man.
Kind of soak up that alcohol a little bit.
Yeah. I like the fact that you were saying there's eggs on the pizza. I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Eggs on pizza?
Yep. It's delicious with it's an egg sandwich, essentially, open face. But with our awesome pizza dough recipe.
I remember on a Sunday when I was a kid, the egg sandwich was the thing Mommy made, boy. Scrambled eggs
With the potatoes?
potatoes, maybe some peppers
And onions?
and onions.
Always onions.
That was living. We back in the day, I don't even know if it exists anymore. But
I have it on my menu.
Oh, really?
I have an onion, potato, and egg sandwich.
Every day or just
Every
on
day. You can order it.
They used to have a thing called pizza bread. It was
Yep,
a round
the
roll.
round one, where they do the Italian hot dog.
Anybody doing that anymore?
Yeah, there's a couple guys in the north. They do it a lot.
So Boozy Brunch, once a month, and what else crazy stuff were you guys doing in
the Boozy
here?
Brunch. Thursday nights, occasionally as well, we'll bring a DJ in. We have a lot of fun things coming up. We were rolling out a new menu. We do flight night, which is anytime we roll out a new seasonal cocktail menu, we'll do flight night where you can come in and order a flight of the newest cocktails that we have for that season. So that's always fun. We're always coming up with excuse to throw a party in here. So as long as you follow us on Instagram, that's where we post most of or advertise most of our events. And come in and join us. It's a small place, but we pack a big punch here for sure.
Yeah, it's small, but boy, do they pack. It's not really that small. Look, what is the capacity?
I can get about 60 people in here.
All right.
Inside. With outside, I get another 28, but most of our events are done on this side of and not including the pizzeria. Pizzeria, I have a few tables. You want to sit down, eat a quick slice. But 60 comfortable on the restaurant side. It's a 12-table restaurant, but
When you think about Boozy Brunch, you start thinking, you have bouncers in here? Does the place get out of control?
I do it all.
I
here,
did come
Mike.
here that one day, and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this was a brunch where people were going to come.
We do have
And,
regular brunch, but on occasion we have our Boozy Brunch.
and then there's the holiday type dinners that you had. I remember you were telling me about a day. I forget what it was. where people were coming throughout the day for a certain amount of time and then they would leave.
That was Mother's Day.
A Mother's Day.
So any Mother's Day, Father's Day, we usually do seatings, and we'll come up with some really nice specials for those events too.
All right, well, listen. Tell everybody one more time where they can find Grano, how to get here, how to make reservations, where you are on the internet, and bang that, go ahead and tell everybody about that. I'm going to set this off to the side.
435 Park Avenue, Scotch Plains, New Jersey. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. You can call us directly, 908-322-4808 to make a reservation. We are also available on Open Table, serving lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. And like I said, our occasional events.
What's Open Table? What does that mean?
Open Table is a reservation system that we use as right online. Or if you go on our website, granoitaliantavern.com, you can make reservations in there. Check out our Instagram, at GranoNJ. You can message and make reservations through there as well. Our website's available through there. Any special events that we do are available through there. And you can see all our awesome videos that we do. Every Friday, I do a video introducing our specials for the weekend and, making sure that everybody comes in, says hi to me and our awesome staff here at Grano.
I'm really thrilled that I came here this morning. I'm really thrilled that you agreed to be on my podcast live from my mother's basement.
Thanks, Mike.
This
I
place,
appreciate it.
Seriously, this is the place to be, man.
This check
is the
it
place
out.
to be. I'm old school. I don't like to do any of the internet stuff. I like to call the restaurant and say, hi, can I have a reservation for this time? And show up and enjoy myself, maybe come in the back door as a surprise. We got to get going. I want to thank my guest, Nino, for letting us come over to Grano and show you guys one of the coolest restaurants in one of the coolest towns, Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Park Avenue. This is the town I grew up in. You know I talk about it. This is where I do my podcast all the time, live from my mother's basement. Big shout out to my producer, Tatiana Blue Shelf, for making sure we always have a great guest come on the show, and everything is done according to plan. You can watch me every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock exclusively on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live on YouTube, and you can also watch and listen to us on Spotify, and you can find us on your favorite podcast app. And here's another surprise for Nino. We're also going to be live on Italian American radio in New York City. I got to get going. Remember, let's make America Italian again. The motto is, you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, and you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my podcasts? By saying the same thing with my special guest. Don't take no shit from nobody. You ready?
Yeah. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Hey folks, thanks for watching live from my mother's basement. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit the word like and leave me a really cool comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and you can watch some of the funniest videos on the internet. You can also listen to the show on Spotify or your favorite podcast app.